is going on, family? So, as you can see, there's a lot of updates I need to give you guys because the scenery behind me is pretty different from the last time that I think you guys saw me. So, first and foremost, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know when the videos come out. It's very important. Make sure you hit up my comment section and let me know that you're paying attention. Aside from that, if you want to get the videos the day that they actually go live, make sure that you hop on my Patreon. That's very important. Also, what comes with the Patreon is going to be discounts for my web store, as well as I'm going to be starting up uploading my bloopers exclusively to Patreon. So watch out for that. That'll be coming soon. And it's basically just when I do these videos, I try to do them in one take. And when I don't pull them off in one take, basically I start over from scratch and say what I got to say again from the beginning. When that happens and there's some kind of mistake or something like that, it just goes into the blooper reels. That's basically what it is. So if you want to see me, make an attempt at some of these videos and fail miserably, or forget what I'm saying, or something like that, whatever, hit up the Patreon. And anything and everything that is sent to the Patreon is greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's pretty much the ins and outs of that. If you want to check out the different tiers that I offer, make sure that you go over there and check it out and see something you like, go ahead and subscribe. That being said, we got a lot of ground to cover. So, with my impending hiatus getting closer and closer, I have decided to kind of ramp up what I'm trying to get done in preparation for that, because I don't know exactly how that's going to play out as far as where I'm going to spend that time. So, I'm not going to get into a bunch of details with that because it's way too much minutia. I can say that for a real talk video at a later point in time or something like that. It really doesn't matter. Anyway, so going from back to the front of the bus, I will be providing pictures as I do these descriptions of what I have going on. So make sure that you pay attention to that. So at the very back, I basically have that sectioned off so you can't see it right now, but that is the general personal space. I have everything generally laid out for what I want to do with the whole, I guess you can call it jackknife couch conversion that I'm going to be doing, or not conversion, but build that I'm going to be doing in the back for the couch/bed area. I don't really have any pictures of that because that's not really, that's still a long way off, unfortunately, just because I have a lot of material that I need to cut and I need to actually design the layout how I want to make it function before I cut anything. So I've been very particular about that because that's one of the more elaborate parts of this project and probably one of the biggest things that I'm going to be building and have to essentially design from scratch. I have still have plenty of ideas in my head, but I haven't put anything to paper just yet because I'm trying to still gather materials that help flesh out that idea before I actually draw it out and deal with the feasibility and whatnot. I'd rather have my materials mostly on hand and figured out, because I may come across something that I didn't think of before that I want to add to that or utilize for that that will make things better, easier, more functional, whatever. So I've been very picky about that. Plus it's the sleeping space and basically the primary chill space. So I want to be on top of that more than anything else, because everything else is kind of just, general workspace or space that I utilize things in, but it's not really, a space that I'm going to spend a lot of my time when it comes to leisure. So my leisure space is more so a comfortable space, so I want to be more particular about that. Anyway, what I do have pictures of back there involves how I have my general curtain set up and privacy situation in general. I have a dual utilization system that I came up with on the fly in regards to how the bus is designed. So first and foremost, I glued some clips to the spaces above and on the either side of the windows in order to hold curtains up. So the nice thing about that is that it's super. What's what I'm looking for? It's super. Wow. I'm having a moment, and I'm gonna keep this one in the video because I'm gonna keep it real. The word I am currently looking for is versatile. There we go. Haven't had breakfast yet. Need to change that. Anyway, super versatile because what I have up now is pretty much just some Dollar Tree curtains, nothing special, tarp or whatever. But it does the job, and when I decide to invest in thicker, more serious curtains, or like I do have a couple of privacy curtains that I was able to get a hold of recently from somebody. I may put those up where necessary, but at the moment this makes the most sense, primarily because there's still a lot of areas I need to clean that are generally dirty, and I don't want to really put up anything that I need to end up having to take down and take to the laundromat when I'm done getting things organized and straightened up and whatnot. So there's that. Also utilizing the railing on the bottom section of where the light fixtures used to be. There's a nice little lip that I found works very well with. I don't see any within reach, but those binder clips, the black ones with the little metal handles to them or whatever. Paper, not paper clips, but yeah, binder clips. Works very well with those binder clips. Generally speaking, regardless of size, I got like 4 different sizes of them, and I've just been kind of collecting them for general utilization. But that in particular works very well for holding up a secondary curtain setup, which I got a couple pictures I can show you guys right here. But yeah. There's a secondary curtain setup that allows me to, if I need to dim the light that's coming in from outside, then I can basically put up a second layer of curtains in order to do that. If I don't, well, once I use the privacy curtains or whatever, I'm sorry, blackout curtains, that's what they're called. Once I use the blackout curtains, it'd be a totally different story. But it's a nice feature to have access to for the time being. It's one of those things where it's not necessarily a permanent fixture kind of thing. It's more of a temporary solution, but also gives me the option to utilize other ideas in regards to that. So expect some random, I didn't think of that moment when you see something that I post up about a lot of the stuff that I'm doing here. So I have that in the back. I've got most of the stuff that I need for the bathroom and some of the storage area sitting back there, but it hasn't been like placed where it needs to go or set up, which I'm gonna see what I can do about getting what I can out of that setup and situated over the course of the next week. From there, what you see behind me on my left, which is probably gonna be your right, is my kitchen area. That's where the cabinets are. I took a nice little picture of that as well, just to get a solid angle of that layout over there. That being said, I'm also going to grab some pictures of the drawers, because essentially not all the drawers have really anything in them, but a good portion of them have things like my water supply, drinkable and cleaning water, my cleaning supplies in general, some dry goods as far as snacks, so on and so forth. I will probably, right next to that where the box and the crate are, on my left hand side, I will probably have a 12-volt fridge there, because that's the spot that makes the most sense. And I will probably have, you can barely see the top of it right now, but there's a toolbox right underneath those. Most likely I'm going to have that for general storage of some sort, because it'll be a nice buffer between that and the heating unit that's still built into the bus, if I decide to keep that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep it, but I don't know yet. I don't really have enough of a reason to get rid of it. And At the moment, because of my condition, I'm not really in the position to go through all of the drama that is involved with draining coolant and disassembling that. Same with the floors, timing wise as well as my general condition. Don't want to go through all of that right now. But I'm prepared to keep it, and if I do keep it, that's probably how that's going to stay for the time being. Another thing you can't really see, which I think I will take a picture of that just to show it. I may or may not, because I don't really necessarily care to show you my garbage, but there's a small garbage can right behind that box. Just, something simple and straightforward that utilizes, it's like a wire mesh kind of build that utilizes grocery bags as garbage bags. So that's a nice thing that I found a few years back that I just bought for the shop in general. And it makes sense to have out here because more than anything else, one of the easiest things to get a hold of is a grocery bag, just a plastic grocery bag. So I mean, it does work with regular, like smaller, the size below the 13 liter. I forget what size it actually is. It might be 5 or 6 liter. Anyway, it works with the smallest size of garbage bags as well. But because of the way that it's structured with the wires, there's set that come down, and from where the lip of the top is, there's a set that comes down on either side that is perfect for wrapping the handles of grocery bags into to be able to secure them in place. So that's what I've been using it for, or that's what I've been using with it for the longest time, pretty much since I bought them. And it's been very helpful because I'm always getting groceries or buying something from the store, and I usually get at any given point in time 2 or 3, maybe 4 grocery bags. Sometimes I'm buying things that like water and juice and tea and things like that tend to be heavy, so they'll double or triple bag it for me to be safe. So I have an abundance of grocery bags just sitting around. So I got free garbage bags. I'm not gonna complain. Makes sense. It's a nice way to reuse, something that you get your hands on that you in some cases have no other use for. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, it's a long description for something that isn't really all that important. On my right hand side, what you can currently see is a good portion of my inventory for when I do conventions. The rest of it, because what you can't see, you only see one little section of crates. Normally I have a total of 3. The rest of them that you can't see, the reason you can't see them is because they're above me. That's one of the other things that I got situated, that I'm happy the idea works and is fully functional and just makes sense. So I mentioned before about wanting to use the space in front of the cable management system where the light fixtures and some of the ventilation coming to the front of the bus used to be, which I'm going to actually rebuild something in that space to be able to utilize the vent that's in the back to bring the air that it used to up to the front. I have a couple of ideas. I'm probably going to end up fabricating something from scratch, but we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, that space works very well for being able to utilize milk crates in order to store things above me. The nice thing about it is, because of the lip that I mentioned earlier that I had the secondary curtain set up in the back for, and then the railing at the top that was there for hanging the fixtures, I can use, here we go, I can use these, I can't pull it down right now, I'm not going to worry about it, actually, in the box, because that's what they came in. I can utilize these rubber bungee cords in order to hold my milk crates up top. I have tested this theory, as you can see in the pictures that are in this section of the video. It works, and it works well, and it takes up so little space. I only currently did one side, which is why you see what you see behind me. Eventually, that's going to go up on the other side. And then after that, I'm going to actually organize it in a easily accessible fashion. There's also an area similar to that above the kitchen, which obviously I'm going to utilize some crates above that section as well for further storage in the kitchen. Again, it makes sense. It's easy. It's simple. It may not be cabinetry, but that's okay. There's a few different ways I can utilize the crates that regular enclosed cabinetry wouldn't allow me. Case in point, having the openings, the holes on the sides of the crates and the bottom of the crates allows me to hang things on the sides as well as hang things from the bottom. So there's a couple of ideas that I can utilize that I've already thought of involving some powerful magnets and hooks and being able to like hang jars from the bottom of the crates and things like that. That's something I just thought of off the top of my head, but it would work. There's a bunch of different things that I could do utilizing the openings that are in the milk crates in order to further maximize the above head space. Also, one of the things you can't see, which is in front of me at the moment, and is actually helping this camera sit in the particular spot that it's in, which is why you get this nice view that you don't normally get. Usually it's from one angle or another on the side. Extra boxes that are fairly large, I am kind of using the safety bars above me in the front of the bus as a way to do storage for those. So whether I need them for building something in the bus, or making something in the bus, or for shipping off projects that I build, whatever the case may be, having larger boxes on hand is a good idea, and having a place to store them that's out of the way, generally speaking, makes sense. So, I mean, it works for the time being. I haven't had a chance to actually drive the bus to see how things play out in that particular instance, but it would not be very difficult to, say, cut a couple pieces of PVC pipe and build a structure that goes across those handles in order to further support the boxes, because right now they're kind of suspended on either side in the middle, and they're kind of bowing a little bit from the fact that they're just sitting there and basically being held on the edges. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to throw in there involving above head storage is how I'm storing the long format material that I happen to have in the bus for general build purposes and for projects. Because there's a couple of projects that I'm working on that are for displays, and I'll get into that at a later point in time. I do have some pictures I can show you guys at some point. Stuff is still kind of in design phase and being tested. I prefer to save that for when I'm sure that it's good enough to let people know about, and then I'm going to post it on my website for sale and so on and so forth. But yeah, all of my large format poles are actually stretched across the safety bars on the left hand side here. But yeah, that's another idea that generally popped into my head and was like, you know what, this makes sense. Let's try it out, see if it does what I needed to do. If it does, these are out of the way, and generally speaking, in a safe space. I do have the ability, given where they are and the fact that they're right below where the crates are going to be. If I feel like they are some level of insecure, I can always wrap some bungee cords around them in a couple of strategic spots, and then strap those bungee cords to the crates. And it also gives a little bit of stability to the crates in terms of, vibration and whatnot when it comes to while I'm driving. So that generally makes sense. Now to get to the very front of the bus, which is the front door. As I mentioned before, I have generally two ideas on what I want to do for locking system for the time being, because of the way that the doors are built and the fact that I don't want to swap the actual normal doors out for anything different. I want to keep at least the shell of the bus still looking like a bus. I like that concept. I like that idea. I mean, I am going to paint it and whatnot when I get to that stage after I do the solar and blah, blah, blah. But aside from all of that, the exterior, I want to keep generally looking like a bus. I just want to make it look nicer because, it's 2006, so it's kind of old. But I digress. Back to the doors. So, don't want to change the doors out. Wanted to keep the originals, and I wanted to come up with an idea that made sense for locking the doors themselves. And I feel like I came up with a decent idea. I'm sure there are ways to improve on it. If you have any ideas on how I can improve on it, feel free to leave it in the comment section because I'm curious. I would like to know what other people would think in regards to the locking system in general. Leave in the comments what you think of everything you see here with this setup, because this is the general layout that I'm most likely going to stick with when I'm said and done. Once the floor comes up and I get a better floor in here, that's really the biggest project that I'm going to do in a generally timely fashion when it comes to working on the bus in general. I'm, again, like I said in the past, may deal with the ceiling, but I haven't officially decided yet, and that's a lot of rivets to have to go through. So we'll see how I feel once I'm better, and possibly once the winter's over, because I think it just makes more sense to do this kind of stuff in the summer when the weather's better in general. Anyway, the door locks, door locks, because it's a system that allows me to have multiple locks in place. But it's basically a set of brackets. The brackets that I mentioned before that I had designed out of pieces of the seats that were removed back when I was in that phase of the bus build. They had brackets underneath the bottom of them for a few of them to hold them in place, particularly the ones that were where the cabinets are right now, facing the back door. But I fashioned a couple of L brackets essentially from those, and then I'm utilizing the holes that were in place to put the brackets on the actual seats as the holes for the locks that I'm using, which I'm using not the puck locks, but the round. I believe the term that my friend used was storage locker locks. But in any event, I have two of those. The bracket allows for three of them, so if I wanted to, I could literally triple lock the door, whether I'm inside or outside. I can actually triple lock the door, so if I'm worried about whatever area that I'm in and somebody actually breaking in and bothering my stuff while I'm away from the bus for whatever reason, I'm more limited in having to worry about that because of the amount of effort they have to go through in order to get through the door. Because, same general ideology behind when I used to have a mountain bike. I bought two U-locks in order to keep the bike safe, because at the end of the day, if people want to steal something, they're going to steal something. They're going to go through the effort necessary to do it. But it's less likely when there's enough of a deterrent. And with the mountain bike, two U-locks is better than one, because it means at least double the time frame it takes to actually steal the bike. In this case, three of those locks on my door makes for 3 times the time frame it would take to disable, disengage, cut whatever the locks in order to get into the bus. On top of that, the brackets actually act as a bit of a barrier for the door opening in and of itself. So even when the lock isn't on, they're lined up in such a way where they bump into each other and make for extra friction to open the door. So you can't just simply open the door, nice and easy like a normal city bus when the mechanism is off for the front door. You actually have to put a little bit of effort into. I mean, it's not like you gotta put your back into it or anything. It's not anything serious like having to force a door open. It's a little more effort than without it. Oh, it started to rain, yay. Hopefully it'll stay a little light, but it'll be a nice change in pace because it's been a little sticky out here today. Anyway, I got pictures of the setup and the lock that I have on there in all three positions, so it's more visible. Because one of the things I wanted to do before I actually shared footage or pictures of it was to paint it black to match the door, because the brackets themselves were originally silver, or metallic, the regular metal. I don't know what kind of metal. I need to actually find that out because I'm curious. But because of the purpose that they originally had, it's pretty thick metal, and it was definitely hard to bend to my will. Which apologize for that. That's semi parking at the establishment next door, probably delivering some large format parts, because I believe that's a parts cleaning facility or something along those lines. I forget exactly what it is, but anyway, the brackets were like heavy duty material, and in order to actually bend them to the L shape that I needed I ended up having to use a hydraulic hammer, which was just something I happen to have access to because of friends and the makerspace. But initially, generally speaking, it would still have required me to most likely have access to a blacksmith space with the actual hammer and anvil and whatnot, because things was hard to bend. I tried utilizing initially just like a table vise and some various tools that like vice grips or whatever that could grip it and give me enough leverage to manually bend, and as well as hammers, and that was a major process. It was a major process. So that being said, given the strength of that material, I figure cutting those brackets will not be easy as well. As truth be told, me cutting through them myself in order to cut them to the size I needed, the only thing I was able to really use was a metal bandsaw. Nothing else that I had access to would get through it in a generally timely manner. So I know hand tools are not really going to get through it too quickly. I mean, worst case scenario, a sawzall, but that'll probably take at least 10 minutes to get through, and maybe a couple of blades, because that's some dense material. Anyway, that's pretty much that setup. I'm still working on something to further secure the front door. I have another thing that I purchased, which I may set up this coming week, just to test out the water, so to speak. That involves a puck lock, but it's not a regular puck lock setup. But anyway, that's the front door, and that pretty much concludes the video in general when it comes to telling you guys about what's going on with the bus, or what has been going on. Luckily, the timing is decent with the rain in regards to that, because it let me get through the majority of the video before I had to talk over the noise. I will probably end up doing something, regardless of what I do with the ceiling, as far as replacing it or not. Whether or not I replace it, I'm probably going to do something in regards to sound muffling when it comes to that, because truth be told, if I have bad weather around me while I'm shooting one of these videos, I still want to be able to shoot my video. So, minimizing background noise would be ideal for that. So I probably will find some kind of insulation that also has noise dampening features to it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I haven't done anything with the driver section as of yet. I already told you guys about the storage locker, where the bus's security system used to be. That's going to be where my batteries and that's going to be basically my electrical system lockbox is going to be all in there. Everything else is pretty much going to be generally open space for random utilization and however I want to utilize it. You can call it a living room, you can call it a workspace, whatever, it really doesn't matter. That pretty much concludes the tour at the moment. I still got a few things, like I said, to set up when it comes to like the bathroom and closet space, storage space in the back, as well as the bed / couch area in the back. So we'll see how much of that I get to before this coming week is up. And as I am able to deal with that, I will post videos. Or if I can't get to it, I'll just post videos, let you guys know what I'm up to in general. So, you know, it is what it is. Thanks for being here. As usual, appreciate you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. Thank you for paying attention to me and my general craziness when it comes to this ridiculous idea of trying to turn a transit bus into a mobile home and general workstation. Thanks for being here. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace.